Happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to today's Jam Happy Hour. I'm very excited to get to chat with my fellow Californian friend. He is over in Southern California right now, tuned in for today's show, and he's going to be providing us with awesome music over the course of the next hour. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Meija, aka Jamie Sirota. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
You got it. So looks like you are somewhere that looks really cool, and tell me about this place that you're tuned in from. You've got a lot of instruments and whatnot behind you.
Yeah, so we're in my kind of converted garage home studio where I make all the records and work with other artists as well. So there's a lot of guitars and drums and tape machines and all kinds of fun little toys around here.
Love it. Now, have you ever been to our location in Napa, in downtown Napa?
I haven't.
Okay. We'll have to get you here sometime soon. You'll have to come up to Northern California. We have like guitars all throughout the tasting room that you can use, and maybe we could have you do a performance. And of course, we have a heavy pour, so love to pour you some wine and hear some of your jams here at the Wine and Music Studio.
Sounds great to me. I'm there.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, for everyone that's tuned in, thank you. Thank you so much. It's Jam Happy Hour, Thirsty Thursday edition, and we've got Meija here, and he's got some awesome newly released music. Just this past summer, the new EP was put out, so make sure while we're linking everything throughout the show that you go check out the website, the Instagram, like all the socials, and keep yourself updated through those links. All right, Jamie, so without further ado, are you ready for the first song?
I'm ready, yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Cool. This first one's Premonition. I'm about to cave, yeah, there's nothing left to love. So much left to say, if I only cared enough. I'd be walking around trying to change. Feels like nothing ever goes my way. Try my best to keep sane, 'cause I can't run away. Maybe there's nowhere to go, there's no leaving. But how could I know? Maybe there's nothing to show, it's all a feeling. But how could I know? Got a premonition that I keep trying to shake. Yeah, whether it happens or not, I'm gonna have to feel it. You feel it close to me. And it's a bad feeling. Lying to my face just to see if it could hold. Running from the rain, 'cause I never liked the cold. I keep tripping all over my ways. Can't look up 'cause I'll feel the weight. Learn to live with the constraints, nothing else matters today. Maybe there's nowhere to go, there's no leaving. But how could I know? Maybe there's nothing to show, it's all a feeling. But how could I know? Got a premonition that I keep trying to shake. Yeah, whether it happens or not, I'm gonna have to feel it. Feel it close to me. And it's a bad feeling. Got a bad feeling. Got this bad feeling that I can't let go. That I can't let go. Maybe there's nowhere to go and there's no leaving. But how could I know? Maybe there's nothing to show, it's all a feeling. But how do I know? I've got a premonition that I keep trying to shake. Yeah, whether it happens or not, I'm gonna have to feel it. You feel it close to me. And it's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling that I can't let go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meija, everybody, about 4 months ago, that EP was put out over this past summer of 2021. And Premonition, that's the intro track off that EP, right? And the title track, obviously.
Title and intro, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you like decide? I think there were 5 tracks within that EP. How do you decide like what's gonna kind of set the vibe and start it off, and then what's gonna be sandwiched in between that intro title track and the outro? Like, how do you figure that out for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of, a lot of it's really just a feel thing of you have the songs finished. And I mean, I kind of had the idea I wanted to do 5 for this project. So that was decided pretty early on, just to kind of like make it a kind of concise sort of B-side to the first project, to mirror that. And yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just like listening through songs and, putting it in different orders and stuff. And this one worked out pretty well, that like with it, it being the title track and being the first song, kind of has some of the most energy of the EP. So it kind of just like was a good way to kind of kick off and with, feel fun and everything, but also feel kind of weird because the song is about premonitions, but it's also dancey. So it's I don't know, it's kind of a fun way to start a project, I think.
Yeah. And so with this project, obviously, this release was a big deal because it was like you really being able to fully express yourself and like do it on your own terms 100%. And I think that's so cool. And I think that it's been an important thing just in general for artists to continue to put out music during this time, because I think most people could agree that music has been this force that has kind of kept a lot of us going, being able to relate to these emotions and like having the ability to put out music and like supply us with the vulnerability that goes 2 ways. Like, we feel it as the audience members, and you obviously feel it as the person putting it out there for people to listen to. And I think that it's so important. And with that being said, like, thank you for continuing to do what you do, because you do a great job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a funny time, obviously, for a weird time for everyone trying to make music and do things. And I think on the music creation side too, we're kind of figuring out ways of like doing it still, and representing the time without sometimes being too much of a bummer if possible. And it interesting time for sure, for everyone, and it's been for me as well.
Yeah. Has it like shifted, like the inability at a lot of points during this pandemic, like not being able to tour, do the live performances, like how has that kind of shifted your creative process, if at all?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, the touring in 2 ways. Like, one, because I had just started putting out music for this project in 2019. Mm-hmm. So kind of towards the end of 2019 was my first EP, and was going to start lining up some I played some shows in LA and was going to even do a tour like in the spring of 2022. So I was like I was going to just get started going on the touring side. So and obviously, May 2020 shows didn't happen.
Right.
So that, that was kind of like, that kind of made me shift gears, because I was getting ready to go promote it and do that. And then also on the other side too, I do a lot of like producing and writing with other bands. And a lot of the way I do that, they're touring through LA. They come to my studio for a couple days, we write and do stuff. So it was just a really weird dynamic where all of a sudden no one was coming there and I couldn't go anywhere. So definitely it was I think, and I feel like still kind of sorting it out, because people are just starting to do shows again too. And I'm trying to figure out doing more as well. So it's like still kind of a work in progress, I feel like. But I mean, luckily I have my studio here, so I was able to, I'm pretty self-sufficient. And I do a lot of the Meija stuff has been done by myself, and sometimes bringing in friends, but was able to kind of like hunker down and make another project since I wasn't on the road.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear more of what you've got to offer, and I'm sure everyone watching right now is excited as well. So without further ado, do you want to get into maybe let's do like 2 back-to-back?
Love it. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. Cheers, Jamie.
This one's called Kid. Fall apart, try again, tripping over my words again. Drink the juice, I wasted youth, don't have time to tell the truth. Give it, take it, I could break it into a million pieces. Bet it, tweak it, I don't need it. Here I go again, go again, go again, go again, go again, go again, go again. I'm a kid, oh my God, I'm in over my head. Room is spinning, oh I'll feel this in the morning. I'm a kid all alone, was it something I said? All these answers, but I forgot the question. I'm digging in, I've took a swing, but please don't ask me what I mean. Gravity is on the loose, I think I heard it on the news. Leave it, fake it, I could break it into a million pieces. Bend it, bleed it, I don't need it. But here I go again, go again, go again, go again, go again, go again, go again. I'm a kid, oh my God, is it something I said? All these answers, but I forgot the question. I'm a kid all alone, was it something I said? All these answers, but I forgot the question. In the dark, I'm all alone, just passing time, swiping on my phone. In the dark, I'm all alone, just passing time, swiping on my phone. I'm a kid, oh my God, I'm in over my head. Oh, it's morning, oh, I'll feel this in the morning. I'm a kid all alone, was it something I said? All these answers, but I forgot the question. I'm a kid, oh my God, I'm in over my head. Oh, it's spinning, oh, I'll feel this in the morning. I'm a kid all alone, was it something I said? All these answers, but I forgot the question. Yeah, I'm just a kid. Was it something I said? I'm just a kid. I'll go into another one. This is a new song. Currently working on a new record. This is one of them. Never get what I can't hold, so hit me with an uppercut to the gut cold. You could try if you don't know, I never learn nothing unless I get told. You could pull me to pieces, and you could take what I leave. I can't get back, and I got nowhere to go. Got no love, so won't you take it slow? Yeah, we could drag out for the hell of it, 'cause it's not permanent, no. You could pull me to pieces, you're tearing me up from the go. I could tell you never see me this low. Looking out from the road, send out a signal if you ever get home. 'Cause you still pull me to pieces. Yeah, you could take what I leave. I can't get back, and I got nowhere to go. Got no love, so won't you take it slow? Yeah, we could drag out for the hell of it, 'cause it's not permanent, no. You could pull me to pieces, yeah. Want you to be the only person that I ever think about, so won't you take my space and time? Want you to be the only person that I ever think about, so won't you take my space and time? While you can, while you can, I can't get back, and I've got nowhere to go. I got no love, so won't you take it slow? Yeah, we could drag out for the hell of it, 'cause it's not permanent, no. And you still pull me to pieces, yeah.
Thank you, Meija, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Hey,
having me.
cheers. Cheers to all of you at home. If you're tuned in and you need to restock your wine supply, then you know where to find us. Oh, there we go. Emily's on it. jamcellars.com/buy, and make sure that you're also checking out the links that we're posting with regards to Meija's awesome current stuff that's been released this past summer, and then some stuff that has yet to be released, like this last track that you just heard, Pull Me to Pieces. And going back to the one you did before that, so Kid, that is in addition to the very first song you did today, it's also an intro track, but this time it's for your 2019 release, almost 2 years ago, I guess, because I think you put it out like early November of 2019. So that's exciting. So Long Kid, that EP, you kind of delved into the naiveness and innocence of being a kid and that side of your life and youth. What was like was there like a main aha moment or inspiration for that sort of theme, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, a lot of it's like, you know, the project called So Long Kid too, but a lot of it was kind of wrestling with too is this kind of idea of like, do you ever feel like you're not a kid, or you're, you know, kind of in over your head all the time, and you know, like dealing with life and people and relationships and all these things, and kind of still feeling like, you know, there's part of that that's gone, like you're not a kid anymore, you're
Right.
supposed to be an adult, but at the same time too, it's like, I don't know, there's not really a person that I've met like at any level or stage of life that doesn't feel that way too, of like I don't know what I'm doing. And
Right.
anyone who says they do is lying, is kind of a, you know, thing people say, and like I don't know, we try and like, I guess, find meaning and find out how to do things, but at the same time too, it's like, it is kind of like wrestling with that fact, like what do I know, you know, like I'm still just a kid in a, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not, but does that ever really change?
Do you remember like the first time, because I so vividly remember the first time I like realized that my parents never knew what the hell they were doing. They were just winging it, and like we always thought as kids, like, oh, they have all the answers, like they know exactly what to do as a parent or as a person. And then you have that moment of realization where you're like, oh no, I'm lucky I turned out the way I did, because they were just winging it like me. Like, oh my gosh. Did you ever have that sort of like vivid moment where you realized that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, my parents were super young when they had me. My mom was 19 when I was born. So I think, like, when I was 19, I'm like, oh my God, like my mom, like, she was a parent. Like, I couldn't, at that point, wrap my head around it. And yeah, I think it's like just constantly, it's like, and you'll have conversations with them still, and like, then look back on childhood or back on like places you lived or how things went, and like, not even old, like bad ways or anything, just, but you kind of realize like, oh, wait, like, yeah, everyone's just like winging it and figuring it out, and like life comes at you and happens, and you have to just like roll with it. And like, especially with kids too, I think you got to kind of like try and put on a good face if you can, while also not like, pretend everything's okay if it's not, I guess. But
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, the older I get, and the more like I like have to pay for things and do life or try and maintain whatever. It's like, wow, it's, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out, and my parents were my age at one point too, and I'm sure they didn't either. They didn't either. I'm still figuring things out. I don't know.
Oh, it's crazy, and it's crazy how well, it's interesting because yesterday, the group that I hosted for our Jam Happy Hour yesterday was Gold Park, and those guys, they have a song Met a Stranger, and it has sort of similarities and parallels to what we're talking about right now, because their song has to do with like when you grow up and you're all of a sudden thrown in the midst of adulthood, and then you realize, oh shit, this is really hard to like maintain or create friendships and balance career and family and hobbies or whatever. And it's so interesting. As you get older, time seems to fly by even quicker. And yeah, we were talking about very similar things yesterday, and it is very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like a pretty relatable thing that, like, I think, yeah, more, it's like, I think people of all like generations and ages like relate to, because it's always trying to figure that out. And I think there's like a good side to that too, like to always try and be like a curious person and try and like explore and to be like humble and just like be like, I don't know things and there's things to learn. Is something I try and do also, like, that I don't have everything figured out, and like what can I learn from other people, and musically or just like life wise too, So it's like, I don't know, I think it kind of cuts both ways, where it's like it can kind of feel like jarring and stressful sometimes, but also too, like, I don't know, I think it's a cool opportunity to like learn new things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so let's say you had the opportunity to like sit down with any producer or musician or songwriter, what have you, whether they're alive or not. Like, is there someone that you'd want to like hang out with and like have a beer, have a glass of wine with, and like learn from, whether it's musically or not?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Like, I think somebody I think is like really. I've read a lot of his books too. Is David Byrne. From Talking Heads. Super big fan and big influence musically, and also like I've read a couple of his. He had a book all about how music works, and he also has a book about like riding bikes too in cities. So he's just a really interesting person I've like read a lot about, and I've like watched all those like What Are Stop Making Sense and some classic interviews and stuff with him. But like, I don't know, I think he'd just be a cool guy to sit down with, and it seems like he has a lot more to talk about than just music too, which is cool, because sometimes like getting too much into that like gear and music kind of nerd stuff gets, I don't know, it's cool, but it's kind of nice to like, he seems like there's a lot of range of conversations you could have with him.
Yeah.
Heck, so if he's out there, anytime, David, you want to meet up and hang out, coffee's on me, or wine. We'll drink some Jam Cellars wine.
Why don't the two of you just hop on over here to Napa? We'll host you. We'll style you out.
There we go.
All right. So this is Meija, everybody. And Jamie, what do you say we do a song and then chat a little more, and then we'll do some more?
Sounds great.
Cool. Cheers.
This one's called Laugh It Off. I find it strange that it could come back again. I don't see the point of it if it pulls apart in the end. I try hard to see a point of view, but I don't see the point. Just find it strange. I see you falling apart again, and you need something to blame. Why don't you call it what it is? I can't just laugh it off. Save it for the kids. I can't just laugh it off. Call me by my name. I can't just laugh it off. You say it's all a game, but I can't just laugh it off. If it's all the same to you, let's bring it back again. Don't see the point of it if it pulls apart in the end. I try hard to see a point of view. So what am I supposed to do? Why don't you call it what it is? I can't just laugh it off. Save it for the kids. I can't just laugh it off. Call me by your name. I can't just laugh it off. You say it's all a game, but I can't just laugh it off. If it's all the same. Your point really isn't coming through. So what am I supposed to do? Why don't you call it what it is? I can't just laugh it off. Save it for the kids. I can't just laugh it off. Call me by my name. I can't just laugh it off. You say it's all a game, but I can't just laugh it off. I can't just laugh it off.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Laugh It Off, that for everyone watching right now, that's, I believe, the third track of 5 that was put out back in 2019. And you can find that off the EP So Long Kid. I know that when it came to the production and the just all the behind the scenes sort of stuff, when it came to that particular track, it had something to do with a lot of things that were happening at that point in time in 2016, I believe.
Right. Yeah. It's been a song that's been in the works for a long, like, I don't know, there's probably 3 or 4 versions of it. And the initial version, was written, in 2016, and just kind of in a time where, I don't know, there's obviously a lot of, like, people mad at each other and all those things too. And this particular one, as I was finding, it's like a lot of people would, like, say these, like, really terrible things, but kind of under the guise of, like, oh, I'm just joking, or it's just, I'm, like, what, like, don't get mad at me for joking around. And, like, I don't know, and, like, as someone who, like, I really like jokes, and I really like comedy and humor and stand-up, whatever. Like, I'm not, like, a thin-skinned person, but it's like, it sucks when people will use, like, humor, or they'll claim to be using humor when really they're just trying to be mean.
Yeah,
trying to
it's like a guy's.
Offensive. Yeah, and it's like, it's not, and it, like, it sucks because as someone who likes to joke around, like, it kind of puts a bad name to someone. It's like, oh, I'm just joking, I'm just kidding. It kind of gets, like, a bad rap, and, like, to try and not laugh it off is kind of the idea of that, and then it kind of made its way back. I mean, it still feels relevant, and probably always did in a way too, and it just kind of made sense to do with it when I re-recorded everything in 2019.
Isn't it crazy? 2016, that was 5 years ago. Like, it doesn't.
It's crazy.
In some ways, it does feel that long ago, if not more. But then, in some ways, it also just feels like last year. Time is a crazy concept.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what that thing is that it's like. It feels like forever ago, but also like it just happened. I don't know. I mean, because it does feel like it was just yesterday, but also it's like that feels like a lifetime.
Right.
So I don't know. There's probably some like German word for it or something. That feeling.
I hope so.
Someone's got to do it. We'll just make up a word.
Now, how many times, Jamie, do you have to tickle an octopus to make it laugh?
How many times? I don't know. Probably a lot. There's a lot of tentacles.
10 tickles.
I'll drink to that. That's
Laugh
good.
it up.
That's
Drink
good.
it up.
I'll laugh to that.
Cheers, everyone at home. Thank you for tuning in for Jam Happy Hour today. All right, Jamie.
I'm gonna steal that. That's good.
You go for it. Now, what is one? Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay laughed. Love it. Thanks, Lindsay. Shout out to you, Lindsay Harris, everybody. She's a sweetheart. If you had like one tidbit of advice that you could give a musician that's just starting out and finding themselves in their unique sort of genre, like, is there something that you wish someone had told you or that you would love to tell someone else?
Yeah, I think something that I really try and like lean into and tell a lot of like artists that I'll work with is like to really like lean into your thing. Like, don't be trying to do something that someone else is doing. Or, I mean, it's like it's good to obviously like learn and expand and try and do new things, as you're talking about earlier. But also at the same time too, like know your strengths and know your weaknesses and always try and be better. But like, I don't know, you can spend, especially in music stuff too. I mean, you can spend all day trying to be like whatever, big pop producer, pop writer, artist that you idolize, but like there's already that person, and like you could spend forever trying to do that, but chances are it's like, I mean, unless like that's what you want, like that's what your thing, that's what you want to do. But if that feels like not like what your thing is, because I think a lot of like new artists, new writers and producers, they get this idea of success and they look at like the biggest things and they figure like, well, I don't like love that kind of music, but like if I want to do music, so I have to go try and do that thing. And I think a lot of it, like, it shows, if you're not passionate about it. And like I've tried it too. I've tried to do things that I didn't feel passionate about. In the end, it's like it feels draining creatively. And I think people are able to see through it and really it's like just be the best like version of yourself that you can. Because usually, I don't know, I feel like things find their way when you really just do that. Like when things come to you is a much better way than like you trying to chase after something that is hard to catch.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you. Okay, I have one more because we were talking about laughing, which, by the way, everyone who's tuned in right now, if you haven't already, go over to the links that we're posting and check out the 2019 EP release. So Long Kid, it's so awesome. It's 5 tracks, and one of those, the third one, Laugh It Off, that's what we just heard. It is just phenomenal. And then this newest release from basically 4 months ago, I guess. You definitely want to check that out as well. So I think we've been posting, and we're going to continue to post the link for Instagram, for Facebook, and you do have a site that's up right now that people can subscribe to with like a newsletter and everything too, right, Jamie?
Yeah, so we're actually working on launching a new thing. So currently the best way to keep track is all on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all those. I'm on them all. So, and then website to come soon.
Woohoo! You're gonna have to teach me TikTok because I don't understand it. I don't get how it works.
I don't either, so I don't know if there's much to teach. I don't know if I'm the person to teach you. I like trying to post things. I was like posting songs and
I'm like, how do people like hop onto these trends so quickly and they like make these videos? Like I feel like a very dated person when I try to even like understand it.
I know, like, I try and do, but it's like, I don't know, I'm like, had MySpace, so I think maybe I'm too old for it, so I don't know.
What was it, Tom? Tom was the MySpace dude that everyone was like automatically, yep.
looking over the
Shout
shoulder,
out to
right?
Tom. Yes, yes. Was it like a chalkboard he was in front? It was like something, he was like holding something, but like looking over his shoulder. I don't know.
I don't know. I just remember the radiant smile of Tom looking over his shoulder.
Shout out to Tom. I don't know your last
He
name.
was looking at Facebook.
Oh man. But yeah, if you're watching right now, make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for any new upcoming New Year 2022 things going on, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot in store for you next year, and you'll be able to find that through the socials we just mentioned. But the last song we heard, Laugh It Off, speaking of laughing, what's a quiet Hawaiian laugh?
Sure. You tell me.
Aloha.
That's good. That's good.
This is why you take a sip each time, Jamie. It makes it easier. Makes it less
That's
cringe.
Good. That's good. I love those types of jokes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's
all
good.
right. So let's get back to the talent, shall we? 2 songs. What do you say? 2 songs back to back?
Sounds great.
Love it. All right. Meija, everybody.
This one's not an original. This one's by Prince. I Would Die For You. I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I am something that you never understand. I'll never beat you. I'll never lie. And if you're evil, I'll forgive you by and by. 'Cause you, I would die for you. Darling, if you want me to, I would die for you. I'm not your lover, I'm not your friend. I'm something that you never comprehend. No need to worry, no need to cry. You're Messiah and you're the reason why. 'Cause you, yeah, I would die for you. Yeah, darling, if you want me to, I would die for you. You're just a sinner I'm told. Be a fire when you're cold. Make you happy when you're sad. Make you good when you are bad. Not a human, I'm a dove. Just a student, I'm in love. All that I need is for you to believe. 'Cause I would die for you. Yeah, darling, if you want me to, you. Yeah, I would die for you. One more time, you. I would die for you. Yeah, you. I would die for you. This is another one that's off the newer EP, off of Premonition. This one's called Wait for Love. Leaning in for a picture, it's your turn to pay for dinner. But we're both broke, so who's really keeping score? You meet me by the acupuncturist. You could take turns taking a shot of this little bottle here I swiped from the liquor store. Let's wait for love to come. Let's spend the night and let it happen. There's so much time for us. So let's wait for love to come and get it on. Thought it'd be nice to write a note, don't have a pen or paper, so maybe I ought to send a text right on the phone. Yeah, you look nice from what I could tell, I already hear the wedding bells. Yeah, we could have a dog and a kid of our own, and it feels right, and it feels good. I shouldn't rush this, but you wouldn't let me if I could. Let's wait for love to come. Let's spend the night and let it happen. There's so much time for us. So let's wait for love to come and get it on. Let's wait for love to come. Let's spend the night and let it happen. There's so much time for us. So let's wait for love to come and get it. Let's wait for love to come. Let's spend the night and let it happen. Let's so much time for us. So let's wait for love to come and get it on.
Woo! May everybody! Thank you!
Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild. Well, first of all, cheers, Jamie. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. So, for the people tuned in to the last one, Wait for Love, I believe, was track 3 of the 5 that you put out for this last EP over the summer. So when it comes to just the EP in general, like Premonition, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but so Wait for Love, you kind of sandwiched in the middle of those 5 tracks. And what was it about that particular song? Like Wait for Love, what was it that made you want to have people experience smack dab in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, a big reason was, I mean, musically, like I was saying, it's kind of putting it in different orders. Like it kind of made sense in that spot. It felt like a nice breath musically, where the other one's kind of a different feel to it. And then also I think conceptually too, it felt nice to kind of like, in the midst of all these other songs, some of which can maybe be on the sort of heavier side, to have sort of this one that's about like taking small moments and remembering small moments of falling in love and little weird things that you did with the person you did. And I don't know, it's kind of felt nice to just put a moment in there where it's like everything's kind of crazy, this whole idea of having a premonition, but also trying to like hold on to small moments when they happen, and because that's important too.
Yeah. And then right before that, obviously, like, oh my gosh, Rest in Paradise, Prince. Like, I love Prince's music, and I think Prince, his songs are really hard to not saying imitate, but like to even like bring that same sort of spirit. But I think the way that you reimagined I Would Die for You, and with like the reverb you've got going on, and like just you stripped it down to the point where it takes on this whole new persona, and you did it so well. And I'm just like, it's like haunting in a sort of way, and I love that. I love that you did it, and it's just, I think you did it perfectly. And I know that you had like gone to Goodwill and like you, for certain parts of So Long Kid, you have like glass bottles and like toy pianos. Like you have all these sounds going on that are really unique. Like how the heck did you come up with that? And I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've always been like a big like collector of weird things I'll find at Goodwills or at, you know, whatever old various. I mean, there's so many thrift stores in LA. And I mean, there's things on the side of the street. Like, I mean, a big part of like my song Buttons is this like toy piano that like I literally bought from a guy on a sidewalk. And it was a big prominent part in it. I've used it for a bunch of things. And I don't know, I think I'm always just kind of looking for like, especially everything's on, you know, nowadays music-wise, like people making it all on the computer, and I was trying to look for like things that take me away from it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like going to Goodwill and finding some weird bongos or weird shaker or a glass bottle or just it's something that just like excites me in a different way than just like going through sounds on a computer.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a big thrifter generally. Like my whole house is like filled with, you know, it's all kind of secondhand anyways. So I'm like always checking out those places for fun. And of course, always kind of looking out for like what's a cool, weird guitar, or just I don't know, something different. It's just like it'll inherently sound different because it's not the thing everyone has because there's only one ever made or something.
Yeah, and I feel like, do you think that because it's a secondhand sort of thing, and it's been at least in one other person's house and like experienced their life with them, you think maybe that versus like a newly purchased, you know, something from the store that has never been out of a box sort of thing, do you think maybe that in itself provides a different sound?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I think there's something to that. Like, I mean, as far as the whole like spiritual nature of that, like, I don't know. I mean, probably like if someone playing it and, you know, giving it love and doing that, like, I know for a lot of instruments too, there's something like physical about that too, of like things need to be worn in, and if you could buy something that's already, I don't know, like a pair of boots, you know, like you could buy a pair of used vintage boots, like they're gonna feel comfortable because someone put work into it. So I think there's some like physicality to, you know, musical instruments that also for that. I mean, also too, like, you know, things are a lot of times made better in like the 60s and 70s too, or you know, lasting, less plastic. So it's I think there's a lot of reasons for it, and like I have these weird, I don't know, little bongos that I found at Goodwill that are like they're clay and calfskin, and like I always joke. I mean, they're really cool, and I always joke because like I look underneath and like written on the inside of all of them says Adele, like just written. I'm like, I don't know, maybe Adele wrote hello on these bongos. I mean, probably not, but
That's
I don't know.
Dope.
You never know. It's probably a different Adele, but also who's to say she didn't write all her big hits on these bongos and didn't put them on the record. I don't know.
Well, Adele, if you're watching, then you let us know. Oh my God, I love it.
And they're mine.
Yeah, they're his now from this point on. But I love thrifting. It's just, there's always like a hidden treasure. You just have to look. Same with life. Sometimes it's right in front of you and you don't even see it. And sometimes you gotta search, but it's there for everyone. So
the digging is there. Nothing feels better than when you find you're spending like a long time looking for something. I'm creatively, musically, and also like thrift store wise too. Like I have an upright piano in here that I found for $20, and I was like looking, and it's amazing. And I was like looking for months and months, looking at every single thrift store, and none of them were right, or they're too out of shape, and all these things. And like there's nothing better than like, and same with music too, like on my song Laugh It Off, like I had gone through so many versions before I did another one and like rethought it, and like I don't know, so I think there's something to like trying to recycle an idea or recycle physical things that I don't know, it's always good to go back to things, and like also it's better for the better for the environment too if you can use things that not go in the trash.
Save the turtles.
You know? There we go.
Save the turtles, everybody. So count your blessings and count your buttons, because today is Count Your Buttons Day. And I'm not going to explain because even though I looked it up, I still don't really know what that exactly entails. I'm going to just let all of you at home or wherever you're tuned in from right this second, let you interpret that however Count Your Buttons Day is going to be interpreted by you and you only.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays and happy button counting day. And
Good luck.
Good luck. With that being said, speaking of buttons, what do we say we do the last song?
Sounds great. I know it's a very serendipitous day, I guess, now that we're on National Buttons Day. I have a song called Buttons, and I guess I should play it probably.
Crazy, yeah.
It'd be a shame not to.
You would. That being said, cheers. Thank you, Jamie. This is Meija, everybody.
So if you didn't catch that, this song is called Buttons. I'm running on low, couldn't let it show, but I want you more than anybody else I know. Couldn't let you go, you could keep my soul, 'cause now you know more than anybody else should know. I let you take my pride, who needs it anyways? There's nothing left to hide, that's why I let you push all of my buttons all the time. I let you push all of my buttons all the time. You're pushing me out, pushing me out of my head, me out of my head. I could take a fall, I could lose it all. Might as well take what everybody else is on. Find me down the hall, 'cause now I feel small, being a part of somewhere I haven't gone. There's nothing left of pride, now I'm a runaway. Just now I feel alright, that's why I let you push all of my buttons all the time. And you could push me off the edge all you like. You're pushing me out, you're pushing me out my head, me out my head. I let you push all of my buttons all the time. And you could push me off the edge, all you like. You're pushing me out, you're pushing me out my head, me out my head. I let you push all of my buttons all the time. And you could push me off the edge.
Shout out to Meija! Everybody who's watching right now, that was Buttons. And that's track 2 off of So Long Kid, and that was put out just about 2 years ago now. That EP is definitely one you want to check out. And 4 months ago-ish, Premonition, the EP, was put out back in June of 2021. So make sure all the tracks, all the songs, all the fun experiences, whether it be him playing the music or him giving us explanations in between songs, like, go check out all that music, and all the links to do so are going to be posted at the end of the show, I believe, and they have been posted throughout the course of today's Jam Happy Hour. So thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate you. Like I said earlier, like, it's so incredible to have artists such as yourself continuing to do what you do, and you do it so well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sammy. That was great. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for the wine. Obviously, that's helped a lot of us get through this time. Well,
Right? Wine and music.
It's good. Wine and music, you know? It's been great.
Yeah. It's been fun jamming out with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And for those of you who have been watching since, well, I guess Pacific time, since 4 p.m., but wherever you're tuned in from, let us know in the comments where you're tuned in from, and we'd love to see it. It's just fun to know where the virtual crowd is all coming from during these shows. So, well, I guess hopefully we'll see you soon in Napa. We'd love to have you.
Anytime. I love it up there. Happy to come by.
Yeah, whenever you have a spare moment, just let us know, and we have our heavy pour at the ready for you.
Ready. Let's go. Thank you.
Cheers, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Woohoo!